Hello everyone and welcome again. In this video I'm going to talk about something that we said on the last video that this is very important thing in Linux. Actually it's about the Linux commands, and we said that Linux commands resides in that shell in Linux, and this gives Linux all the powers that it is. Actually the power of Linux resides in that shell, and that shell, if you want to use it, you have to use those Linux commands perfectly. And actually in this video I'm going to talk about the main Linux commands that you will use in your daily use in Linux. Actually if you want to open that shell, actually it is this terminal here, which is called a terminal or shell. Some commands, it's very important to know. Without it, you cannot go ahead with Linux and with these commands. It's very powerful and easy to use. So we will start with the first command, which is ls. ls actually for listing files. Listing those files on the current directory I am in. So to list the content of the current directory, use ls command. ls command has some parameters. So what is parameters? The parameters is something you pass to that command besides it. So we type ls, and for any parameter dash, and for this command especially there are two types of parameters for beginners. You have to know them. The dash a and dash a for listing the hidden files, and hidden files in Linux started with a dot, and the file name is a hidden file in Linux. So if you want to make a hidden file in Linux, you have to start its name with a dot only, and the file name after the dot. Another parameter for ls is dash l. Dash L for listing files. So you view it as a list, not as a normal display like this one or this one. So ls dash L for listing files as a list. You can combine parameters like this dash A for hidden files and the dash L for list files. So we can say ls-la. As you can see, it's listing the hidden files and as a list. So this is for the first command or first bash command or terminal command in Linux, which is ls. The second one is cd, change directory. cd, which stands for change directory, cd, and followed by space and the directory you want to go to. On a previous video we talked about the Linux file system, and we know that the file system goes like /home, /bin, whatever. So if we want to go to /home, we will type cd space /home and enter. Now we are on the /home, as you can see here. So cd goes to what directory from your current directory to the destination directory. Another command that is useful for you is cb for copying. cb actually is a copy command. Now let's clear the screen, and I clear the screen by pressing the Control and L combination, Control plus L to clear, instead of typing this command, which is clear. The same functionality, Control plus L to clear the screen of the terminal or the shell. Now cb command for copying. So we should, if we see here these files ls-la, we don't have. We can go to our home directory. The tilde is our home directory for the current user, and ls-la these are the files. So we want to test this cb command here. So I'm going to copy, for example, the .bash history, this file, into another one. So cb goes like that, .bash. Actually, when you are in Linux, if you type like here the file and you hit tab, it will show you the rest of the files that match this file name. If we type h, now no file ends with this suffix except this bash underscore history. So we press tab to complete the file name. cb with .bash history to whatever, like AAA, like that. Now we have copied this .bash history to another file. So as you can see here, we don't have a file with AAA. So if we just list those files, and as you can see, this is the file that has been copied using the cb command. cb command has a parameters which is -i and -r. So what is -i and -r? The -i, the interactive mode, which means, you know, if -i, if there is an existing file with the same name that you are going to copy, it will prompt you, should I override that file? Shouldn't. It's up to you. So if we try to do the same one again, as you can see, should I overwrite? Hit yes. Now it had been overwritten. And the -r, like that, for recursive copy. Recursive copy means if you have a directory on Linux, whatever, now the directory here starts with this D here. This D means a directory. If it is a hyphen, like this one, it's a file. If you want to copy a directory with all of its inside folders and files recursively, you have to use -r on the cb as a parameter. So cb-r to copy the files and the folders inside a specific folder to a destination folder. So how the syntax will be cb-r here, like the source directory desktop to be whatever, like AAA, this time as a folder, not a file. Here he said cannot overwritten a non-directory with a directory. Now in order to understand what does that mean, he said cannot overwrite a non-directory, which is AAA, with a directory. This AAA is not a directory actually. So cb-r for this desktop and that one, actually the AAA here is not a directory this time. There is no directory in this path here, the current directory called AAA. We should end it with a / here in order to make a directory. Now this time said fail to access, not a directory. There is no directory called AAA. So if we want to create that, and we should create directory, there is another command for creating directory, but here I'm going just to show you how cb command is working. So another command actually is mv. mv is the same as copy, but this one is for moving files. mv for moving files or cutting the files. So if you want to use mv, let's ls-la. These are the files. We're going to move that AAA file to another file like BBB. So mv the AAA to BBB. And let's take a look again. As you can see, AAA is now removed and the content of the AAA file is moved into BBB. So this is the MV command. So mv command for cutting the file. Now mv command has the same parameters for a beginner. You have to know only those two parameters because they are very important to you. The -i for interactive means also that if you have a file with the same name of the target name, it will prompt you to agree or disagree. The most important Linux command after mv is rm. rm for removing a file. rm for deleting actually a file. And if we want to see like here ls-la, we want to remove this bbb, so rmbbb, this is a file, it will be deleted, and as you can see now there is no bbb file. If you want to delete a directory, you will the same command, but you have to end the name with a /. So if you want to delete this documents or downloads directory, you have to say downloads and ends with /. This in order to delete. Actually, in order to delete a directory, and this is a special case for directory, you have to use the -r, this for recursive deletion, and it will prompt you to show you a message if you want to already delete or not. Actually, if you don't want to see that message, you have to use another parameter, which is f. F for forcing the delete of the rm to delete without any prompt. So if you want to delete, for example, this pictures directory, rm-r pictures, now it has been deleted. Actually, it does not show any message because this pictures folder does not contain anything inside. So if it contains anything, it will prompt you, should I delete this with all of its content inside? It will. If you press enter, it will delete. But in order to not to show this message, you have to use -f. So this is for rm. The next command you should use is mkdir. Actually, mkdir for make directory, for creating a directory. So mkdir, like geeks, for example, here, if you see now, like geeks is here as a directory created just right now. mkdir for creating a directory. So mkdir for creating directories, very easy command. So another directory for Linux that you should know actually is about finding files, which is locate. Locate is for finding a file. It's like locating where is this file is here or there. So if you want to search for locate like geeks and press enter, anything that has this like geeks in its path, it will give you this list here. So if you want to locate something that .log or something, you can use locate. So locate for locating a file. Actually, locate command is using a database that is saved from every file is added or inserted or deleted into a database. There is a database with all the files in the system. You are just searching this database. This database actually is updated using another command is called update db. Update db is actually a database that is contained this. Now we had here update db, he said cannot open a temporary which is mlocate this .db. This actually is the file that contains everything that you have in your system. Actually this update db for updating, but actually you're not going to use that a lot, but you can use it if you feel like your locate command does not return something that you are sure that it is right there. So this is locate and update db. Another command actually that you should know as a main Linux command also is CHON. CHON stands for change owner. Change owner of a file or a directory. Actually, in Linux, and we will discuss the permissions in a great detailed video as a standalone video. But here you have to note as a symbol with symbol parameters. Change owner, if you want, like here, if we list those files, here if you see, this is the owner and this is the group. So this one is for this user like geeks, and the group is like geeks for any file or a directory. You want to change, for example, a owner of any file, whatever, maybe this here we will choose any file .dm, this one .dmrc. Want to change it to, for example, for the root user. So chon root, here you type it like that, root for the group, and the file we want to change the owner for it is .dmrc. Changing the ownership operation .permitted. Now we cannot change to root because we are a down level for the root. The root is like the big father. On Linux, we will discuss the permissions in great detail, but you don't have to worry about that now. Root is a big user. Actually, we are not like a root, so we cannot change it to root. But actually, I'm going to be as a root now. I'm going to show you how to change permissions from something to something if you are a root. chon. Now, in order to understand this point, we have to take another command, which is su, substitute user, and type the root user. Now we are a root. Su for substitute user. You log in as a different user. And there is another command that you should know, that who am I. Who am I is telling you who am I, what user I'm logged in. Now I'm root. So who am I for getting the current logged in user. So now ls-la, we want to change the owner for a file, which is .dmrc that we taught. chon for this one, root, colon root for dmrc. Now without any errors, and if we check again the dmrc, now it belongs to root. Change owner, chon. Chon only you have to know the parameters of it. The important one is -r, and this is a capital R. Take care, not small r. It's a capital R for recursive, means change the ownership of all of the subdirectories inside if there is. So if you want to choose chon -r, and for example the user, the group that you want to change to, and the directory or the file that you want to change. Now this is the file. Now I'm talking about here like videos, it's a directory. So this command here will change the permission of the videos directory to be root and the group root for the videos directory and all of the inside files and directories inside videos. So -r for recursive. This is for chon. Now the most important command that you should know also for the main Linux commands is the chmod. Chmod actually change mod. This for changing the permission of the file or a directory. Now we have changed the owner by chon, changing the permission by chmod. Chmod, now you have to understand what Linux permissions is. As you can see here, let's take a look. Here, this D stands for directory as we said, and this hyphen for file, so no problem for that. Here, R and W and X, R-X, R-X. So what is this? The first 3 digits, RWX, read, write, execute. This for the owner. The first 3 digits or 3 characters for the owner. The next 3 characters for the group. The last 3 characters for the other. So the permissions for the user, or the owner, sorry, not the user, the owner of the file. The owner, the group, the other. The owner, read and write and execute. The group, read and no write and execute. The other, read and no write and execute. Every one of these read and write and execute stands for a digit or a number in Linux. Read stands for the digit 4. Write, we hint it with 2. And execute with 1. So 4 for read, 2 for write, 1 for execute. If you combine them, 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. So if you want to change CHMOD for specific file, let's stick with this .dmrc file. This one is read and write and no execute, and for the group and for the other is nothing. So we want to change this one, CHMOD, for this file to be 755. So what is 755? 755. And sometimes you see like 644. What are these numbers? The first one, 7 or 6 or whatever, for the owner. 7 means 4 plus 2 plus 1. So 5, 4 plus 1. And 5, 4 plus 1. And then the file name, whatever it is. The .dmrc, like that. So chmod 755 for that. If we hit enter and see that file again, see? Here are the permissions. It has been changed. So 7 is a combination 4 and 2 and 1, and 5 is 4 plus 1, and 5 again is 4 plus 1. Now this is, you have to know that read and write and execute and what it stands for. The 4 for read and the 2 for write and the 1 for execute. This is very easy to know and to understand. So it's very easy, and we will explain the permissions and how permissions in Linux, you know, just very basic things about file permissions in Linux. The permissions is more complex than that, but actually if you understand this, it's very good as a beginner. This is for CHMOD. Now the next one actually is the tar command. Tar command for creating and extracting tar archives. This is very important to know because maybe somebody send you a tar archive, you want to decompress it and see what's inside, or compress a tar archive and want to send it to one of your friends, so you have to know it. So tar, it has many parameters for decompressing and compressing. So if we want to create a tar archive from some files, let's see how here. We want to create a tar archive with this file, or maybe we'll choose now this time a directory, the templates directory we want to create. So tar dash C for create, Z for Z is for creating this archive, and don't be like verbose for V, and F for forcing this compression. So if you want to create tar dash CZVA for creating, and here you just mention this templates, and you want to create this tar directory to be like aaa.tar.gz. Now Z actually is for the gzip compression actually. So C for creation, and Z for gzip compression, and V to be verbose, and F for forcing to create this if there is any matching name for the output of that one. So as you can see here, no such a file or directory, cannot open this templates, error, all these errors. So what is the problem in creating this tar archive? As we can see here, tar-czvf, and here you say your name at first. Now this is good. I'm making these mistakes in front of you so you know you will not fall in these mistakes. So I'm showing you what is this the beginner is falling in. This command is written like that. Here we type the output of that compressed tar archive. So if we want to make it aaa.tar.gzip for this templates directory that we want to compress, and press enter. Now if we see, ls, here we have this tar gzipped archive with the same name. Now let's recap it here. tar-czvf, C for creation. Okay. So if you want to restore the previous command that you typed, you press the up arrow like that. See, these are the previous commands that we have typed. So the next one for tar is to decompress. Now we able to compress. We will see here that we compress this into a directory, into a file called AAA. We want to decompress this AAA into a directory. It's the same thing, actually tar, but this time -xzvf. X for extraction and Z for this gzipped file, and V to be verbose and show the information of those extracted files, and therefore forcing this. Actually, we are going to extract this into like MMM or something like that. Actually, here we don't have this MMM, so we will keep it as without any name. And if we check here, the AAA actually was extracted into the one that we had been making it as templates. Now this is the extracted directory from this tar gzipped one. Now the next command that you should know, now we will able to compress and decompress using tar. The next one is you have a file and you want to show its content using cat command. Cat for showing the file's content. Now if we take a look here, we want to take a look at this bashrc.bashrc. So we type cat space dot bash rc, and this is the content of the .bashrc right typed onto the screen directly. So this is the cat command. Cat. One command that you should know is less for also listing the content, but with a scrollable screen. Now maybe the file is very big, you need to scroll it and see what next page, previous page, using less. Here, of course, as you can see here, content of the file, you can scroll up and down as you need. If you need to go out, Control Z. This is the less command. You can use page up and page down and home and the end buttons. This is great. So this is less. Next command that you should know is grep. Now actually grep is a very big and important command in Linux. You have to know this grep command is very important and has many things that you will use in Linux world, and you have to know it. And it, there are some books are written only in grep command. Just as a wrap, grep for searching for a text inside the files that you specify. So how that grep work? Grep searching for a string inside a directory of files and brings to you what is the matched files and text in these files. In order to understand grep, actually I want to search for maybe something on all of my directories for a specific string that is written. If we see here cat.bashrc, as we have said, maybe I want to search for this programmable, this text on my current directory or the whole disk or whatever. So I can grep, and here's the parameters that is used. R for recursive, I for insensitive, and L for listing those files that you'll find. You don't have to type to me the whole file that you find this string or this match. So -R, I, L. So these are the needed for grep. As a beginner, you should know this. And we want to search for a text that we want to search for. Sorry, I did not programmable like that. And on the current directory in Linux, you type it like dot. This means the current directory that I am in. The one that I'm in here. I'm standing on this directory is dot. So if we hit enter, this file .bashrc on the current directory contains this programmable text. So we can hit cat or something and see this file and what's inside. Now this is like a simple search command for grep. Now grep has many things like search and which date and older than and newer, many things we will cover in different videos, so stay tuned for that. So grep is okay for you now. The next one that you should know is this password for changing the password of you. So if you hit enter now, it will asks you to what kind of password that you will use. Enter your password, for example. Enter it again. Now it's updated successfully. So password for changing your user password. So this is the command is used. Okay, the next one that you should use is the du command, the disk usage command. The disk usage command, see like how much free space is there, like that. So disk usage come with these parameters as a useful parameter for you. That's -hs. H for human readable number, and S to summarize the bytes, the size that is output. So -hs, and this current directory, the current directory is 13 megabytes size. So this is the du disk usage. You should know that du-hs. The next command that you should know is for rebooting your system. Reboot, this is easy, and to shut down is halt. So I hope you enjoy these commands, and next videos we will talk about new commands, so please stay tuned. Goodbye.